Range is brought to you by GalleryofGuns.com.
One of the most historically significant military cartridges was the introduction of the Black Hills Mark 262 77 grain 5.56 military load. And this was remarkable for many different reasons. But I'm actually sitting here with Jeff Hoffman, the man behind the load. I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about how the Mark 262 came into being.
It basically started as the AMU load, the Army Marksmanship Unit load. They had come to us some years prior to that and asked us to produce something for match competition at 600 yards. And then a few years later they came to us and said, we need something similar to that that's effective and accurate at 600 yards for other than shooting paper targets with. What do you have? And that started a long development with them in conjunction with Naval Surface Warfare training.
Okay, and what's interesting about this was actually designed as a light sniper cartridge, wasn't it?
Correct.
Okay, and due to that, it doesn't use a traditional military full metal jacketed bullet.
No, it uses what the military terms open tip match, abbreviated OTM. And the reason for that is many people think, well, hollow point, that's against the Geneva or the Hague Convention. And the military needed something to differentiate this bullet from a hollow point because it really doesn't perform in the manner of a hollow point in a commonly understood sense. It's purely an accuracy bullet. We had to, in order to, by the time we got done with development of this cartridge, we'd modified the bullet, we'd modified the brass case, and we had a propellant specially built just for this load.
What type of accuracy and performance are you getting?
I don't think the spec has been totally released, but it's better than any other 5.56. This is the only precision 5.56 round in the U.S. military inventory, and it's better accuracy than anything else that's available.
Okay, and it was specifically developed for use in the Mark 12 Mod O and the Mark 12 Mod 1 sniper systems. These are 5.56 guns with match-grade barrels, free-floated. They're set up from the start to handle sound suppressors, and they're both extremely accurate, aren't they?
That's correct.
And very effective in Afghanistan and Iraq.
Yeah, I think in about 2003 it was named one of the top 3 most effective weapon systems in Afghanistan.
Now, one of the things about this load is it quickly became, it quickly achieved a cult following among shooters where everyone wanted Mark 262, but it was a military-only load, and it was very difficult to find. But now, today, Black Hills has released a commercial equivalent of the Mark 262 load.
That's correct. It's absolutely identical. It is the same load. The only difference is it's in commercial packaging versus the military packaging. And since it's not being accepted by the military, it hasn't gone through all the military acceptance testing that each lot goes through for the military. But it's ballistically absolutely the same load and performs identically.
Okay, so the question that a lot of people would have would be, what is different about this load compared to your run-of-the-mill 77 grain match load that, everyone offers?
The primary thing is this is a 5.56 load. The other offerings on the market, almost without exception, are 223 pressure and velocity. So this is operating at 5.56 pressures, 5.56 velocities. It uses the military specification brass. And a lot of people think of military specification, they think military surplus, and they think maybe lower quality. Absolutely incorrect. Military specification brass is the best brass available because it's built knowing that soldiers' lives depend on it. So this brass is superior to any commercial brass available.
Okay, still loaded with the Sierra 77 grain Match King bullet.
Sierra 77, there's a modification to the bullet. It has a specialized cannler on it. That when you put a cannler on a bullet, you're taking a bullet that's theoretically perfect and modifying it, so you have to be very careful not to destroy the accuracy potential of the ammunition, and that's what we did with this. We added a cannler sufficient to give us the bullet retention necessary, the durability, the combat durability necessary, plus we avoided destroying any accuracy. And a lot of people think that 223 is simply the commercial version of 5.56, and that's true to an extent, but what they need to understand is there are significant pressure and velocity differences. 5.56 typically will give you 100 to 150 feet per second difference, but it doesn't come free. It comes at the expense of extra pressure. We did a test where we took our 5.56 ammunition that's safely within 5.56 pressures, and we shot it in a 223 barrel. In the 223 barrel, it's significantly over pressure. Now, we didn't blow the gun up, but we had the pressure reading device there to where we could see it was we had significantly increased the pressure, and it was above what the manufacturer's recommendations are for 223. So the basic rule is, if you're going to shoot 5.56, you have to shoot it in a 5.56 chambered gun. It's not safe to shoot 5.56 in a 223 gun. Now you can do the opposite of that. If you've got a 5.56 gun, you can shoot 223 or 5.56. But 5.56 should only go into a 5.56 chambered gun.
And when it comes to military match ammunition, you basically supply the Marine Corps?
Yes.
The Air Force teams?
Correct.
The Army teams?
Correct.
Army Reserve?
Yep.
And Army National Guard teams?
Yes.
You supply them all with 5.56 match ammunition?
Correct.
And now, for the commercial side, everyone can go out and they can buy the 77 grain 5.56 pressure Black Hills.
Correct.